All right, and welcome to another video with the 996. Today we are going to do a quick one to highlight the top 5 things I love about the 996. There's quite a lot. I've lived with the car now for a number of years. These are the ones that stick out for me, that I personally love, mainly design features and sort of practical things within the car. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive right in. Number 1 on the list, and it's probably the most obvious, at least for me it is, and that is the infamous or famous 911 4S red strip in the back that merges with the brake light. I think it's such a cool feature, such a unique aspect of the car. It harks back to the early 911 days in the Carrera 4S's, and it really just makes it stand out that much more. From a design perspective, I think it's just beautiful, especially because, you know, they've managed to make the red strip in the back sort of blend in seamlessly almost with the brake light. Now this is just a reflective strip, it doesn't actually light up, but I just think that did such a good job with it overall. What was disappointing to see in the 997.1 version, they took that out of the 4S's. They didn't introduce it, which I think was a real disappointment for anybody who would have opted for that car. They reintroduced it in the 0.2 version of the 997s and further onwards. So you'll see it here in a 2014 car. They reintroduced the strip in the back, but on a much smaller scale, which I'm personally not a fan of. Yeah, it's not as traditional, and for me it's a bit of a letdown. So for me, that's one of my favorite things that I love about this car. It just makes it that much more unique. Number 2 on the list, it's also in the back, and that is the rear brake light. You'll see here when we start off, it's pretty much flat, smooth, and then as we go towards the rear, you start seeing a lip emerge, and that is to make it, you know, pretty much seamless with the engine rear deck. And I think it's such a cool feature. They could have made it all flat, and you would have gotten used to seeing that. There would have been a difference obviously between the engine deck lid and the light, but you know, it probably would have been something that your eyes would have gotten used to. But they thought, no, design wise it just wouldn't have looked right. They didn't want to, you know, just go for that for easy's sake, and then instead made a light that, you know, is pretty much flat. Again, they could have just continued with that lip all the way, but again, you know, it starts off with the lip here and it sort of merges cleanly with the rear engine deck lid, and then it goes and becomes flat as you go tapers towards the end, which I think is such a cool feature. Another feature that I love about the car, and that's in the back, we'll see here, and that is storage. You'll see one of the back chairs be put down. Let me put this one down as well and show you what I mean. It goes down as such. You can put the seat belts like that, and it becomes a great, almost like a parcel shelf, but it's a massive shelf in the back that you can use to store. I've carried a lot of things in here. You carry suitcases, luggage, if you want to go for long trips, which I think is fantastic, rather than using the back seats and damaging the leather. And it's quite of an awkward shape to put anything in there of, you know, of massive size. This is pretty much makes it flat, and it's a really deceptively good space to use. And the fact that it's flat, you can pretty much use it for any type of thing you want to carry, and it's deceptively big. I mean, the car carries quite a lot actually, from the boot. The boot is another aspect that is a great feature, but for me, this especially, I think it's again, it's a very smart move on their behalf. I think it's one of my favorite features, and that makes it to number 3 on the list. I love the seats. They're not one of my favorite things about the car. There's plenty more, but I do love them. Moving on. All right, let me just move this out of the way. And that is the, by the way, you don't see many with the Porsche crest on the gear. This was an option. You don't see it on many cars, 4Ss or otherwise, from the 996 variation. So yeah, so it's the actually okay. So number 4 on the list, one of my favorite things about I love about the car is the entertainment altogether, but especially the phone. I think the phone is such a cool feature. You know, I always feel so baller when I do use the SIM card goes here. You put a SIM card, and this is specifically for the car, for the phone. But yeah, I think it's such a cool feature. And this is one of the reasons why I don't want to fit the new entertainment system, because it would mean having to do without the phone, which I'm not too happy about. I think it's one of those features that I would hate to take out of the car. It's, you know, so yeah, so I'm not sure how I feel. We'll see, but this is a great feature that I love personally, and it makes it to number 4 on the list. And that is the rear vents. Serve a great purpose. They also look very cool, but like unlike modern cars where, you know, exhaust tips, front vents, they all are blocked and just for show, they don't lead to anywhere. These are actually there for a purpose. They were there to alleviate some of the back pressure that is generated from the wheels, and also to get out some of the heat that is generated from the exhaust. You can just about see the exhaust boxes and manifolds. So there serves a purpose and also looks very cool. Such a great feature, and I love looking at it every time I get in and out of the car. It's a cool comparison when you look at them side by side. The modern cars are certainly very nice to drive, but this just stands out for me. Alright, so this was my top 5 things I love about the Carrera 996 4S. There's quite a bit more, but these are the top 5 things that I love. I'll do another video with the 5 things that I hate. There's not much, there's a few niggles, so we'll have to think of a couple more before making a video, but tune in for that and a lot more content to come. So do please subscribe and like, comment with anything you want to see specifically with the 996. I'll be doing a lot more content, so tune in and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.